Oh my God, you gotta be.
No, I'm not.
I prefer my Oreos dipped in milk.
But that one's pretty good, too.
How much you want for it?
Like $1,000 for.
5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it.
A man brought Benjamin cabinet card photograph.
What can I help you with?
I have this signed picture.
Benjamin Harrison. Hey, Corey. It's like your great-great-uncle twice removed from your second cousin.
Hey, he's bald and he's got a gray beard.
Skilled assistance was required, so an expert was contacted.
Normally, this would be a pass, but a cabinet card actually signed by a president? Now that's a different story. And not just because, supposedly, I'm related to this guy. Benjamin Harrison.
Our 23rd president. Look through here. Yes, and it does appear to be signed in ink. It's not a printed-on signature. Now, the second question is it actually the signature of President Benjamin Harrison? And I brought along some examples here, and there are a few things I look for with the Benjamin Harrison. First, there's about a 30-degree slant on a signature. So I'm gonna come over here and look. And the slant is about 30 degrees to the right, which is the way it is here. Well, after looking at it, Rick, I do believe this was signed by President Benjamin Harrison himself.
Oh, wow.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I do think a fair retail price for this would probably be about $1,250.
Wow. Could you do 8?
Really? You just wanted 5, and now I'm offering you 7.
Right.
I have to frame it up. I have to do some other things.
Could you do 750?
I guess we really shouldn't have called Stuart in, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I'll give you the 750.
It's a deal. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, you want to write her up, son?
Come with me.
Rick entered a garage where the Hertz Penske GT Mustang was for sale.
This is it. That's right. The 2014 Hertz Penske GT.
This is nice. I mean, and it's a Mustang, too. It's an iconic car. I mean, this was Lee Iacocca's baby.
Right.
This was the cool one, not the minivan he came out with a lot later.
An expert driver entered there.
Do you mind if I go grab him? He's a friend of mine. I just want him to look at it, okay?
Sure.
I'm Joey Logano. I drive the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
I'm ready.
Let's hit it.
Holy.
Handles great for going around Vegas here, going to 150 down the straightaways. Think he's had this thing this fast before?
I doubt it. We're really doing 150?
I think the good thing about this car is that it was never rented out.
You know, you don't have to get that close to the wall, dude.
Rick's a brave man. He was sitting on the right side of this car, and we're going into the corners at 150. One of the first 10 cars that were built and wasn't rented, it has that 6-speed manual. I think that's got to add some kind of value. Sure. So with all that, I'd say it's worth around $75,000.
I'd give you 60 grand for it. You know, I don't know.
All the things you said, I appreciate, and they're all valid points. I still think that's a little low. Would you do 67?
I'll go 60 grand.
62, Rick.
I'll write you a check for 60 grand, and it'll even be good. But that's what I could do.
I'll do it.
All right, man, it's a deal. Bring it down the shop, and we'll do some paperwork.
They'll do.
Cool.
A woman brought Faberge, a black widow, to the pawn store.
Yeah, I found this. I was cleaning out some drawers and stuff. My mother gave it to me years ago, and I was wanting to find out how much it was worth.
This thing looks crazy. What is it?
It's a Black Widow. When people say Fabergé, they mean Peter Fabergé, one of the greatest jewelers of all time. This guy became famous for his Fabergé eggs, but he actually made everything from silverware to necklaces to rings. And just about anything he touched is considered a masterpiece. What did you want to do with it?
I want to get rid of it.
And how much were you looking to get out of it?
Couple thousand?
Okay.
She was amazed at the price.
I'll give you $15,000 for it.
Oh my God, you gotta be me.
No, I'm not. This is stuff you do not see every day.
How about 15.5?
This is why I hate having a conscience. This is Vegas, and I just told this woman she hit the jackpot, and now she wants another spin. I can pay you 15 grand. That's more than a fair offer on this. This is not something that's going to sell overnight.
All right, you're a good man.
Okay.
Thank you.
A woman walked in, clutching an 1863 Japanese katana.
Hi. Looking to see if maybe you'd be interested in purchasing this sword.
Oh, wow.
Are you a closet samurai or something like that?
No.
It's a great piece of history. During World War II, there was this whole thing called the Spoils of War and war prizes. Might sound a little strange now, but it just goes back from thousands of years. I mean, that was part of a soldier's pay. If you went to battle, you got to take a few prizes home. Generally, out of Europe, they would take flutes. I've seen Lugers. I've seen all these other things. One of the big things guys brought back from Japan was samurai swords.
Wow.
Rick closely observed it.
Please. It's a little excitement in here. Ooh, check out the blade on that sword.
An expert was invited to assess it.
So if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, I'll give him a call, have him come down, check it out, and
Great, excellent.
he'll give us a much better idea what it's worth.
This blade was made in 1863 by Nagahiro and was given to the Lord of Choshu to protect Japan against enemies of the emperor, the imperial family, and especially against the Tokugawa, or the military leader. So this is quite an important sword, historically.
She was told a story that it was used for beheading Christians, which I said, probably not.
There is a term called joy that's written on the tang, which means protecting or reverence to the imperial family. So not literally beheading Christians, but just anybody who was considered an enemy of the emperor at the time.
The fact of the matter is, I don't take advantage of people. 5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it. I would go more, but this is a multi-year project here, most likely. So I'm assuming 6,000 is fine since you wanted 5.
Yes, 6,000 is great.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
A man brought a unique World Series press pin.
I have a 1929 Cubs World Series press pin.
The Cubbies.
I think it's the only team ever to go over 100 years without winning a World Series. I guess people just feel sorry for the Cubs.
Sure they do.
There's not one chip in the enamel that I can see. It's a good thing it's from the Cubs, too, because if you get something from the Yankees, they're always going to the World Series. It's not quite as big a deal. It really does mark the end of an era. We're talking October 1929. That was the height of the Roaring 20s. Literally a few weeks after this pen was given out, the stock market crashes. How much you want for it?
Like $1,000 for it. It's a seldom seen piece.
Rick was honest with the customer.
So when I see a customer with a rare, expensive item and making a big mistake, I flag it when I can. Getting $1,000 for it's just a little too cheap.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll take 12.
Okay.
That's absolutely no problem. I appreciate your honesty.
That's not how you negotiate.
Just go take the item, go write them up.
A man with a Lincoln Parlor card walked into the store.
I have an original Lincoln Parlor card. That is the basis of the Lincoln penny.
That's pretty amazing. Parlor cards were sort of a new thing. They sort of came out in the 1860s. Back then, it was a really cool thing to have a photograph in your house because photographs were expensive, really new, high-tech thing. Like I said, I'm still in shock that you brought this in here. I didn't know one existed in private hands. How much you want for it?
I know you've got to make some money on it. This is the only one left, so I think a fair price is $100,000.
That's a lot of sense.
An expert was brought in for consultation.
Let me get someone in here who'll have a better idea what its value.
Right.
Okay? I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm just in shock. So here is like the Holy Grail.
Wow, that's really an astounding piece. This Lincoln Parlor card could be special for 2 reasons. One, it was taken by Matthew Brady, who was the most famous American photographer of the time. And 2, it was later used to create the image of Lincoln on the penny. So, Rick, I do believe it is genuinely signed by our 16th president himself.
Okay.
I told you $100,000, but you could make money even if you gave me $120,000.
I'll make this really, really simple for you. I'll give you the $100,000. I won't go a penny more. That's what I'll go. $100,000.
I think $110,000 is a fair price.
I am comfortable at $100,000, and that's it.
We had a deal.
Sweet. Go right over there. We'll do some paperwork, and I'll get you paid.
Great.
A man brought Oregon fossils to a pawn store.
Have a Oregon fossil?
I prefer my Oreos dipped in milk.
Huh. But that one's pretty good too.
This one is pretty good too.
I wouldn't eat it though.
Yeah, I don't think I'd eat it either. They would have been found as early as 5 million years ago, all the way up to 40 million years ago. So it was a hoofed animal, herbivore. You can tell by the teeth here, still intact.
An expert entered the scene.
Give me just a few minutes, I'll be right back.
Good. I've been told all my life that it's a real fossil, but I never had it looked at by a professional. So I'm really curious to see if it's a real fossil from a real Oreodon.
Hey, thanks for coming in.
How you doing?
Hey, Chum, how you doing?
I'm pretty good.
These teeth should glow under black light. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
So those are the real teeth?
Those are the real teeth. And let's take a look at these canines on the front. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, I didn't see those up there.
So, you know, this is one of those fossils that if you're a nerd collector like me, you can appreciate it with the lights on. But, you know, you can enjoy it in the evenings with some party lights as well.
Okay, well, what kind of value could you put on it?
A specimen this unique and this complete, with the articulation, I would expect a retail price of $14,500.
Well, that's definitely good news for one of us.
Yes, it is.
Would you take $7,000 for it?
No, I came pretty set on that 85, and that was already super low. So you're gonna have to sweeten up the pot a little bit.
Especially now after you found out it's worth $14,500, huh? I think I'm gonna have to pass on it. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that want it, but for that price, it's gonna be a tough sell here in my shop.
Okay.
All right, thanks for bringing it
All right,
in.
no problem.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
A man brought Wayne Gretzky's NHL player's contract at store.
I have Wayne Gretzky's last professional contract when he was with the New York Rangers. This is really cool.
Who are you, his agent or something?
I wish I had that kind of money. It's really hard to put a price tag on something like this because it is a once-in-a-lifetime thing you're going to see, but I'm looking maybe around $3,000.
You think it's real?
You know, I don't know. I think it is, but how do you even know for sure?
An expert came there to check its authenticity.
The guys call me down to the shop anytime a really unique or rare piece of sports memorabilia comes in the door. What do we find this time?
We got Wayne Gretzky's contract.
Oh, Wayne Gretzky's signature in particular, it's a very quick and abbreviated autograph. The main characteristics are the W in Wayne, the G in the Y in Gretzky. The G in particular almost looks like the symbol for pi, where it comes up on the left side, kind of loops at the top, drops straight down on the right side. The Y in Gretzky pretty much is almost like the number 7 with an arc on top. What you have here, it's not a reproduction, it's not a forgery, but a 100% authentic contract signed by Wayne Gretzky.
That's great. That's what I wanted to hear from you guys.
Did you go 18?
How about 25?
I'll go $2,000. That's the best I can do.
Can you split it with me? Give me $2,250?
$2,100. $2,100. That's it.
Sounds good to me. I can do that.
All right. John, I'll take care of it.
Yep. Grab the contract and meet me at the desk.
Rick had a look on 1959 Barbie #1 signed by Ruth Handler.
Hold on.
Is that a 1959 #1 Barbie?
That's #1.
That is a ponytail Barbie.
Here, I'll bring it here so you can look at it much closer.
Is that the original box?
That's the original box, and it's signed by Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie. And the clothes were amazing. They were like couture humans clothes, but shrunk down. The quality was amazing.
So I know the lady who designed it. She named...
Her daughter was named Barbie.
And her son was named Ken, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's where they came up with those names. When she came out, she didn't have any friends, right?
No, she was like a loner. And then they gave her a best friend named Midge.
How much you want for it?
10 grand.
Okay, there's 100 fakes for every real one.
An expert came there.
So right now, I'm waiting for Steve to show up to tell me if it's real. Hopefully a deal will be made.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You know Kim?
Yeah, Kim actually has bought a few Barbies from us. Barbie was a fashion doll. She was made for kids, but in reality, she was made to kind of indicate to a young girl that there was style and fashion out there. It really came out of nowhere. You know, when they came out in Toy Fair in 1959, people were kind of like, what are you gonna do with that? And they took off like wildfire. You know, there was over, 250,000 of these made, and small fraction of those exist today. It's a very nice piece. I think that you have no problem whatsoever getting somewhere between, $7,500 and $8,000 for this doll.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense for me because I'm gonna resell it. So I'll give you $4,500.
No. 7,000?
You take $5,000?
No. 6,000?
I'll meet you in the middle. I'll give you $5,500. I mean, I'm not gonna get rich off you, but I can make some. Sweet. My daughters are gonna be so jealous.
A man brought ancient Roman coins to the pawn store.
I have an ancient Roman coin that I think you'd be interested in.
Let's take a look at it. You know much about it?
I know it depicts Noah's Ark, or a scene from Noah's Ark.
I mean, Christianity was becoming more popular at the time, but still, it still wasn't the official state religion of Rome. How much are you looking to get out of this?
Like 50,000.
Okay.
A specialist was called to examine the situation.
Where in the world did you find this?
So I did buy a private collection less than a year ago, and this was one of the coins.
Okay.
Howdy, Rick.
Dave. This is my buddy Dave. He is the rock star of the coin world, believe it or not.
How you doing? Hi. It's just great. It shows Noah and his wife in the ark. You have waves underneath the ark. It's just fantastic.
Why would they be on a Roman coin with a Roman emperor on it?
Well, it was struck in the city Apamea, which is in today's South Turkey. It was a very cosmopolitan place, and so they had a large Jewish population, they had a Christian population, they had Greeks, they had Romans, and somehow it had developed its own association with Noah and the flood, because a local myth had developed that this is wonderful. I think it's absolutely fair.
50,000 is a good price for it.
I wish I could save you some money, but I think it's fair.
But if you want 30,000, I'll pay 30,000.
I go to 45, but that would be
31.
45 would be the bottom line.
Thanks for bringing it in. If you change your mind, offer's open. Unless there's like some world-changing event.
That's a wrap. Want more pawn shop drama? That like button and subscribe for more epic finds.